Jar Oil. The company have filling stations across the country, and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.
In Gambia, deposit and withdraw money, pay bills and buy mobile credit without fees. Transfer money wherever in the country for only 1% fee. At Wave, Basel Mufine, Wave, your money is yours.
The time in the Gambia is 35 minutes past 8 o'clock in the morning. And next on the program, I welcome a good friend of mine, a good younger brother of mine. You all know him as the Gambia government spokesperson. I prefer spokesman. Ibrahim G. Sankareh. Sankareh has been away for a bit of time. He's back. His absence caused a lot of speculation. Hopefully he'll be able to clear the air for us this morning. Thanks. Good to have you back.
A very good morning, Peter, to you and to our esteemed listeners in the Gambia and across the world.
And viewers as well.
And viewers, yeah. Okay.
I was expecting you to appear Indian.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, because don't I look Indian?
I dress Indian, and my wife said, you go to Peter Gomez and he's going to tell you,
Yeah, I was actually expecting you to Sasumanu.
No. But it's good to be simple. It's good.
Yeah, like this, well, not always, though. Not always. For once, we should have worn, a similar thing. Ashobi, as they say.
Okay, next time.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Your absence caused, as I said, in the lead to this conversation, caused quite a bit of speculation. Some people, thinking you had thrown in the towel.
No. Well, I like your figure of speech. Well, predictably and naturally, I have been at least counting now for the past 7 years, getting to 8 years, since 2018, I have been spokesperson for the borough government, and then for the past 4 years, I think, I have been advisor on diaspora affairs. And I've been the voice of this government for all those years. Every Tuesday, it was ritual that I and the former ministers and I would come here every Tuesday. And much to my credit, being very humble about it, this was my own initiative.
Absolutely.
That Gambia government should be talking to the Gambian people. This was an idea I conceived of one day, that since we never had an office of a spokesperson, and the borough government, with the new democratic dispensation, in order to dialogue and deal with the Gambian populace, also needed to be very open up and very transparent. And that was how this idea of me coming to you every Tuesday, talking about government policies and programs and taking questions from viewers or listeners, was conceived of. And the president approved it forthwith. Then Ibrahim Silla, the Honorable Ibrahim Silla, was the Minister of Information. I think so it's natural that if that was happening and all of a sudden, that voice is no longer there, there is legitimate concern to ask questions. But if you remember, before you moved to this studio, how long have you been here now? A year or so?
Just over 2 years.
Over 2 years. Well, over 2 years ago, I announced on your radio.
Actually, not just over 2 years. We moved here in August 2023. So just under
3
2 years.
Under 2 years.
Yes.
Yeah, I announced that I had intentions of returning to academia to finish my PhD program. You remember, I submitted my thesis at the University of Birmingham. I'm the first scholar to write a thesis on the Gambian scholar Landry Peters. And then I submitted my thesis, defended it. I was asked to come here and do some corrections, as all PhD students do. I came, I was given a job I never expected, never applied for. And in the intervening years, my professors got retired, and they were old, and they left. So it's the same thesis, really, that I just submitted in India, and I'm just doing a course here, 1 year coursework to work it out. So that's why I'm away. I'm in touch with my principal, the man who hired me. We talk, on a weekly or daily basis as the need is. I'm away, but I'm not away. I do work. My work is such that I can work virtual. I don't have to be on the radio. I don't have to be sending press releases. I do other work.
Well, if you choose to be on the radio, you could be on the radio.
Yeah, I could be. Yeah. But academic work being what it is, I just want to concentrate on what I'm doing right now. And I'm on my own. I'm paying for my own education. And I thank President Barrow. He was gracious enough and kind enough to pay for my one semester, at the university.
So your education is not at the expense of the taxpayer. The taxpayer is not contributing to your.
No. Okay. I am paying my own tuition fees. This is a desire I have had all my life, to be educated fully.
Come on, you are educated.
Yeah, but education...
To be over-educated, perhaps.
Nobody is over-educated, Peter. That would be superfluous. No, nobody is over-educated. But honestly, and my family, really, my mom never went to school. And, she...
My mom never went to school?
She has been very, very instrumental in my education. And today, in her 90s, every morning when I greeted her, she would say, "When are you going to complete your PhD?" She asked me this question
Really?
Yes.
All these past years?
Yes, and she's the happiest person now that I'm back to school. So this is why I decided to go to school. Ironically, people have been querying, why is the spokesperson doing his PhD? Is he still the spokesperson? That is the quintessence.
This is an opportunity to answer that question.
That would be the quintessence. Let me be paradoxical. That would be the quintessence of ignorance, quite frankly. Sharif Sekuba Sise, the late Sharif Sekuba Sise, was President Jawara.
The late finance minister.
I think he was also governor at the central bank one time,
Yes.
and finance minister. Yeah. He was minister of finance and went to Virginia and pursued a master's degree in economics. There are many permanent secretaries, including our late teacher, Badra Juf, who had a master's degree from London, came back, was a permanent secretary, and returned to the University of Bath to do a master's degree in economics, and was on a Gambia government scholarship. So why is it that I do not deserve the same thing? And there is a litany of Gambians, even in India. There are professors from the UTG who are pursuing their PhD programs, and they own full government scholarships. So I wonder why the curiosity. Yes, I'm the government spokesperson, and until the day President Barrow sacks me as they want or retires me, I am the government spokesperson, bona fide.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you keep the job. So why do you think people speculate about Sankareh all the time? Why would you? I mean, after all the reasons you've given here and the examples, be away, and people start asking questions when they don't ask questions of other people.
Well, it's human nature, Peter. From the day I was appointed, I told you this. I decided to be off social media. No Facebook, no Twitter, nothing other than my email and my WhatsApp, my phone numbers. So all these things, people tell me, dégg nga li ñu wax. No, I don't. Dégguma ko. Because my professor told me many years ago, there's some majesty in silence. Silence, there's some majesty in it. If you weaponize hatred, I weaponize silence. You hate me, you peddle gossip, you insult me, you call me names, all kind of profanities, I go with silence. Silence, Peter, people don't know, is the most lethal weapon against a hater. There's a majesty, he told me, the professor who brought me, or Professor Gilbert Thompson Hoffman, he told me there's some majesty in silence. So sometimes it's good to be quiet. Let them speculate. You'll be surprised. Conversely, there are very serious Gambians who take this job seriously, who like what I'm doing, who pray for me every day, Christian, animists, Muslim, people who call me daily to pray for me, to wish me well. For me, that is enough. And I have my mom who prays for me every day. So if you want to hate, continue peddling your hate. I don't read what you write. I don't listen to it. When people tell me, I say, they didn't insult me, you are the one insulting me, because you're the one telling me what they are saying. So silence is my weapon. And I'm serious about this. I don't. I just focus on my job. And so long as the President of the Republic of the Gambia continues to trust me, to trust in my capacity, to counsel and to write, I am okay with that.
Yeah, but as part of your job, you're meant to read, social media, to know what is being said about, as you call him, your principal.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. But then, like I said, there are people who who will tell you information. I mean, information sharing is part of the net. I have WhatsApp.
Yeah, but you know what they say about, information coming from third parties. It's either they have added to or reduced from the original message.
Exactly. But the requisite information, information that is crucial to the maintenance of the rule of law and the governance of this country and the development of projects, that information I get readily. And that is actually the nexus between me and the Gambian people. I was hired to communicate and transmit information from the powers that be. Since 2018, President Barrow has been very serious, has been very focused on the development trajectory of this country. I was born in Serekunda. I grew up in the provinces. Today, when you cross Bara, the ferry, when you cross to Bara and you see the road, to Hakalang, I used to walk.
That famous Hakalang road.
I used to walk, Peter, you cannot believe it. I used to walk from Esau to Berending 9 kilometers on foot every day to school. I did that.
9 one way,
9 coming back.
Other way. Wow. So
I did that.
So that's 18 kilometers you were doing every day.
I used to trek, is the right English word. I didn't say it. I didn't think it wasn't walking. It was trekking.
Oh, wow.
I trekked, So today, when I go to Nyomi, I remain grateful to President Barrow, not because I'm his spokesperson or not because I work for his government, but because of the development he has brought to the people of Nyomi. I go to Basse, I have family in Basse. I look at the what is it, Sambatako Bridge, whatever bridge. I look at the Basse Bridge. It used to take people from the other side of the bank days when the ferry was broken. They would either go canoeing or they have to wait. The ambulances would be stranded on the other side of the banks. Thanks to President Adama Barrow, today, in nanoseconds, you can cross that bridge and get to Woolly. And likewise, other parts of the Gambia. Development has come our way. You look from Banjul, all the way going to the Airport Johnson. You have seen this vast artery that traverses the entire landmass from the traffic light, from Sting Corner, all the way to the Airport Johnson. When I returned to this country in 2017, for the first time in 20-something years, I was shocked at the potholes and the utter decadence of the roads in this country. Today, thanks to President Adama Barrow, that is now becoming history. Yes, do we have all our things fixed, all our priorities? No. Development is not a one-day phenomenon.
Yeah, I was going to say he should come to London Corner and see
No, he is. He is there. He is at Janjang Road right now. Did you see Janjang Road, where you go and vote? Did you see what Barrow is doing there? Janjang Road is next to your road. And you see, that's where you go and vote every year. This year, Janjang Road, there will be no pothole. You can drive through easily. You can cruise, not drive. Let's use the word cruise. So President Barrow has visited your neighborhood. You stood here all these years complaining about London Corner.
I am still complaining about London Corner. Janjang Road is not the only road.
You were born in Banjul. I was born in London Corner. That's my dad's house, Peter. But I'm telling you that development has come to London Corner. Development sometimes has to take a geological space. It's not magical. Development takes time, It was President Nyerere, if you remember, who said, while Europeans were trying to reach the moon, Africans were trying to reach the village. In countries in Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, you go to Zaire with all the vast resources they have. People in Zaire they take weeks, days to get to the village. But that is just the reality. Africa has been a highway of civilizations, has been crisscrossed and, destroyed, oppressed, suppressed, repressed by colonialists. They extracted resources. It would take us years to fix or to repair the damage done by colonialism. And that is across the spectrum. Even in our schools, even in the judiciary, our language in the judiciary, for instance, is something that needs revisiting. Salman Rushdie, the Indian British scholar, had written in 1979-80. He wrote about the empire writing back, and people didn't understand what he meant. What he meant was the British Empire that was said that the sun never sets on or in. Now the people from that empire are writing back to the empire to complain, to litigate the problems of the empire. One famous writer against the empire was Chinua Achebe. Things Fall Apart. Many people read Things Fall Apart, and all they say is Okonkwo, his ability, his agility, he was the exact antithesis of his dad. But then beyond and above the storyline was the fact that Achebe was also actually problematizing the way English language was written to Africa and about Africans. The last page, Peter, if I may digress, of the Things Fall Apart. The last page, the last paragraph, the last sentence. After Okonkwo consigned himself to martyrdom, and was buried by the boys, the district commissioner picked his notebook and pen, and what did he write? He said, the life of the primitive people of the Niger Valley. Listen to that. The life of the primitive people of the Niger Valley. It suggests that if a white man was writing Things Fall Apart, he would focus on primitivity, the utter barbarity, the utter uncivilizedness of the African. That's what Things Fall Apart is about. That even in the judiciary today, my lord, me lord, your honor. Peter Gomez is learned journalist, but it's Peter Gomez. Ibrahim Sankareh. Adama Barrow. Yeah. The only learned people are the people in robes at the judiciary.
And we are not, things are not requested of us. We are commanded,
exactly.
to submit things. Well, thanks to you, and I'm about to complain. I mean, you were dragged to court, and you found a way of dragging my name to court with you. And that's subpoena. And I insist, the language is discourteous. This is colonial language that the judiciary has just, conveniently allowed to go on. They should change it.
Yeah, so
especially when they are just asking you to help a case. I didn't have to send any audio recording.
I know. I think the law says 7 months. After 7 months, pura.
Yeah.
After 7 months, you can discard.
Absolutely. I mean, to now, this learned, this honorable, that honorable, and then command the proprietor of what command.
Yeah, but beyond and above command and whatever, it is good. It's for authenticity. It's for history. It's for posterity. That one
how did you feel being, dragged to court about, this police shooting case?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I was so happy.
You were happy?
Absolutely. You know why?
No.
When Peter, for over 2 decades, I put my pen on paper and fought against tyranny in this country, in concert with so many other Gambians, like-minded citizens. Instead of going from ghetto to ghetto drinking, alcohol and then getting drunk like a malcontent, I took meager resources, opened up a studio in my house in North Carolina, and for 2 decades, I advanced the cause of the Gambian people. So today, if I am in a position of authority, like the lawyers call me, they call me,
you are in a position of authority.
And they call me honorable, which I didn't like. I just said Sankareh was enough.
Oh.
For them to call me.
You are honorable?
That's how they call me, honorable. And the next time is, but this gymnastics and local. Anyway, but then for me, to be called, to come, or to be commanded, to use their language.
No, were you commanded as well?
Well, I didn't even receive my subpoena. But I decided to walk to the courthouse and testify without a subpoena.
Really?
And thanks to the judge, really, after the trial, after the testimony, he thanked me for respecting the law, for coming without a subpoena in hand.
How can you just walk into a court and say, well,
and when the director of public prosecution filed a motion at the appeals court for me not to appear with my colleagues, I protested vehemently. I said that is very bad for our governance. It's very bad for our democracy. I want to testify. If I had not testified, your tape would have never been played. Many people read about what I said here based on secondary information. You just complain about it, secondary information. The only the only radio that I ever had an interview about this shooting was West Coast Radio. No more, no less. No journalist, no newspaper, no TV, no other radio, no internet platform ever interviewed me about this case. Ironically, what newspapers wrote was the crux of the interview. And I guess when they realized it wasn't going to pan out, the lawyer decided to subpoena for your audio. That is the historical record. This is part of Gambia.
So if I hadn't provided the audio, it would have been,
based on secondary information.
That lawyer's word against your word.
Yeah,
you said this,
yes.
And you insist, no, I never said that.
Yeah, one of the allegations was that I said the man was a rebel in Casamas. I denied it. He said I was lying. He didn't use lying, but he used evading, which is also a metaphor in a courthouse for lying.
Yeah.
And people chastised me for going to the court for lying. When the tape was played, it was good. It was good. Nobody had that. And I told the judge.
Did you serve him his own word back that he was?
Yeah, well,
or you don't deal with lawyers that way?
No, you could. You could. Because the tool of the trade is the language, English language, which they have no monopoly over. They have monopoly maybe over the law.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But Peter, honestly, for me, I think this is very good. This is what we fought for. We have a president, Adama Barrow, who has allowed the judiciary to operate independently and judiciously. And when that case happened, when we sat here that September morning, I said this, that President Barrow has assured that no matter how heinous the crime may be, whoever is accused is going to be given a fair trial. It would take the full legal cycle. And that is exactly what is happening. Today, his deputy IGP is appearing. Tomorrow. And
the court wants the IGP.
Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, because in one of the headlines, let me see.
No, the IGP actually, I don't know why, but he wasn't IGP until maybe a year later. I don't know.
Yeah, because this is the points.
I saw it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
IGP's court snub, unacceptable and against rule of law, Justice Jaiti says.
Okay, power to him.
So
I have no qualms with what you just say. That's his language. That's his courthouse.
Yeah.
But what I'm telling
so they don't want the deputy IGP. They want the IGP himself.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know that. But what I'm saying is, for me, the beauty of the process is the National Security Advisor has been asked to appear. I've been asked to appear, and whoever is appearing for the police has been asked to appear. This was, never heard of under a different system in this country.
Well, we never had this particular kind of case, under any previous system.
We had more serious cases where justice ministers were picked up and thrown into mile 2 prisons. We had army generals thrown into mile 2 prisons.
Yeah, but they were not killed. I mean, this involves 2 policemen on duty, almost 3, who were shot dead in the line of duty.
Yeah, absolutely. It's unprecedented.
It's unprecedented.
Yes,
exactly.
Like I said. But then, you know very well, the fact that, we are appearing suggests that there is a significant transition, there is a significant transformation in the political status quo in the Gambia.
Proving the point that nobody is above the law.
Absolutely. And for me, that is the point. That when you are in a position of authority, no matter how high, you should be able to talk to the Gambian people anytime they need you to talk to them. And that is precisely what is happening. It's an exercise in democracy, and I think it's a nascent democracy, but we can try and help this country flourish. So that tomorrow, our children and grandchildren would know, well, yesterday we had people who actually put this nation on the right trajectory. So dictatorship, tyranny, autocratic rule is a thing of the past in this country.
We have less than 2 minutes. Since, coming back on a short break, you're due to return, in a few weeks' time, not so?
End of month.
End of month.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm here for another month.
Oh, very good.
And I'll be back end of August.
Fantastic. You've met your principal at least twice. What did you talk about?
Oh, who? The president?
Well, you call him your principal.
What?
I'm now using your own words, so that I don't, I don't have words fed into my mouth.
We talk about family, so many things. Life. Primary school time, high school time in Banjul, so many things. It's so nostalgic.
Yeah.
I think you should find me a good writer who can be going to State House and once in a while talk to the president and then get notes. We can have a very good, biography of the president, a denser biography than what we had the last time. That was for kids. But we can have a denser, more revealing biography.
Sam Sar will happily do that.
Who, Sam?
Yes.
Yes, I know.
All right.
Oh, he can be a ghostwriter for the president. Yeah, it's good to sit with President Barrow, Peter. You
5 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, nobody's giving me that opportunity yet.
No, maybe we'll think about it. Well, we have we have a long radio interview. Yeah.
Thanks, we've got to go now.
Yeah, thank you so much, Peter. It's been my profound pleasure coming here, as always. Thank you.
Ibrahima G. Sankareh, Gambia government spokesperson. You've been listening to Coffee Time with Peter Gomez on Friday. Actually, he mentioned Ibrahima Silla. Silla will be here on Friday from 8.
Jar Oil. The company have filling stations across the country, and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.
Gambia, deposit and withdraw money, pay bills and buy mobile credit without fees. Transfer money wherever in the country for only 1% fee. Ak Wave, Bustle Mufine, Wave, your money is yours.